right. Another beautiful day in Colorado. Going to be out on the V65 Sabre, and this choke cable up here is kind of worn out. Doesn't do much of anything anymore. It's connected right here, and basically this pin has to come out, and this has to rotate like this. So, in order to start it, when it hasn't been started in a little while, sometimes you got to give it a little bit of gas, just a little bit of love, and operate that little thingamajigger down there. Technical term. It'll go. Full tank of gas. There it goes. So yeah, I got to get that choke cable worked on. While I'm down here, right here is a little MacGyver add-on. Turns on the radiator fan on a hot day. And right here is the little cable to charge the battery if it gets low. And one of the subscribers was asking for more of a how-to tutorial, and so I figured, as I'm out here fiddling around with things on this old bike, I would just sort of narrate what I'm doing. I'm certainly no expert on any of this. But I ask questions and figure stuff out. See, now it'll probably run. See if I can get my shades back on in time. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to be answering with sort of a video response to a question that was posed by Dion Mosley, who is a fellow member of the Colorado Motovloggers group on Facebook. It's a secret group, so you won't find it if you look for it. And his question was great. His question was, why do you ride a motorcycle? What a great question. Simple question. And if you ride and you're like me, there's a lot of reasons that come to mind. Certainly not just a single reason. It's it's a lifestyle. It's a whole way of kind of doing life, in a sense, to ride. But I wanted to take a crack at, my reasons that I ride. I'm a musician by trade, and I've been doing music for decades and decades. I started when I was 13 years old, full-time, and most of being a musician is indoors. It's, practicing, rehearsing in, garages and basements and warehouses, and sound checking at a venue that's normally indoors. Obviously there are some festivals and outdoor gigs, but they're fewer and further between, I think, for most musicians, than the ones that are indoors. So one thing that I love about motorcycling is it gives me a solid reason to be outdoors, because I don't get enough of that. I never have. I've always sort of erred on the side of, they call it a studio tan, just pasty white skin for me, and no color, no sun on it whatsoever, because you're in the recording studio, you're indoors. Makes me think of a line from the movie Titanic when my alter ego Leo DiCaprio says to Kate Winslet, "I thought you were kind of an indoor girl." So that's one big reason for me, is that it connects me to the beauty of where I live, and the sights and scenes and adventures to be had, and it gets me vitamin D if I'm wearing shirt sleeves, and it's a connection to the physical environment that I'm in. So that's one big reason. But I love cars and I love motorcycles. I was watching Top Gear last night. I love that show because, yes, that show is about reviews of specific cars, and they talk about the technical side of mechanically what's going on. But I think that show is more about the passion for motoring, the passion for vehicles, and kind of the intangibles that vehicles represent. So that's what I wanted to talk about more than anything, are the intangibles that are connected to riding. I think at the most basic level, motorcycling is like man's primitive, age-old desire to fly. To be free like a bird and not be tethered to, just running down a hill. Wasn't enough for men. And, there was this desire to fly. You look at the Wright brothers and, people that were determined to do that. And, people that have innovated with motorcycles and cars is the same way. It's an expression of that desire to be immortal. Hope that doesn't sound too cosmic, but I really think that that's a big part of the reason why a lot of us ride. Is it's a feeling of immortality when you're out on a bike and you have a whole bunch of power at your fingertips to just roll on a throttle and to do something that you could never do on a bicycle or just walking or running. That's a big thing. And I think that sort of the design of vehicles, the maintenance of vehicles, the acquisition of vehicles, the care and feeding of vehicles, all of that goes into this kind of love affair with, flirting with immortality, and, a desire to maybe kind of be like a superhero instead of just like a regular guy. And so when I'm out riding, there's a feeling of freedom, there's a feeling of power, there's a feeling of adventure that I can't say I normally have coursing through my veins to the same degree when I'm not riding. I get depressed in the winter when I can't ride in ways that are always surprising to me. Because I wouldn't think logically about motorcycling being like something to need for your physiology, for your body, for your mind, for your soul. It's a luxury item. It's not, logically speaking, it couldn't be a necessity, right? But every winter, I get depressed when I can't ride. And, the only reason is that I'm not riding. And yeah, maybe some of it is vitamin D deficiency or something, because it's less sunlight or whatever. Shorter days, more darkness. But I think it's definitely more than that. I don't think that's the whole story. The other thing that I would say, sort of connected to that, is I had about a decade that I'm just coming out of now, where I had a lot of health problems, a lot of things ranging from debilitating, recurring migraine headaches to serious stomach and digestive issues, and so those debilitating physical problems I felt handicapped for many years, a lot of the time. And sure, I had good moments where I felt a lot of vitality and felt good, but it wasn't consistent, and it wasn't something that I could count on, and I felt really powerless, not being in control of when I was going to have a good day or a horrible day. And motorcycling was something consistent through all of that, where every time I would get on the bike and the weather was decent and it wasn't raining, I felt happier, I felt stronger, I felt more connected to the world that I was in. I wasn't, shut away in my room, lying down with a cold rag on my head, like I was too much of the time in my 30s. And it brought me back to life, is really the way to say it. It was life-giving to be out on a bike, and I still have that association of everything could suck about today. I could be dealing with, relational problems, financial problems, any number of things could be going wrong. And yet, if I get on my bike and, go carve up a canyon, or even just ride through the city, whatever it is, go visit a friend, go run and get some coffee or something to eat, it really does push back against that. It really does change the heavy feeling. So I think that's a lot of it, is, it's like an artificial vitality creation device, where, it brings you back from feeling worn down and, sick or sad or depressed or whatever. It really does have the ability to push back against those forces. So, if you're depressed or have stuff that's going on in your life that's weighing you down, I would literally recommend the motorcycle as medicine, to feel better. It just creates endorphins, and it'll make you see a side of the world that you're not seeing enough of. And we all need that from time to time, a little boost, or a big boost. If motorcycling's not enough, then you'll have to take illegal drugs. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, those are a lot of the reasons that I ride. For me, it's always been a great creativity booster as well. It's always been an opportunity to think without distraction. I put earplugs in when I ride, and so it's relatively quiet, and all I really have is the sound of the motor, the sound of the wind, some oncoming traffic, and I've got 3 kids. They're not asking me questions. Daddy, can I do this? Can I, have bubble gum or whatever? They are not here with me. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids. That's not it at all. I wanted to take some better video of this beast here. I pulled over and took some video here yesterday when I was reviewing the FZ09. Anyway, so it's a lack of distraction that is much appreciated. And so I love, just I can't be bothered on the phone. If someone's texting me, they kind of have to wait. And, that's a real perk of riding that does factor into why I like to ride. And I'll just get one more shot of this. Do like a little zoom in, I think. So that's what I can think of. I'm sure that there are lots of other reasons to ride that you guys will be able to comment. I look forward to the other video responses telling me what they are. Alright guys, signing off on the video response. V65 Saber Guy out.